Anticipation. What is anticipation in bullseye style shooting? I can almost relate every mistake back to anticipation. I know. I've been told, "Lo, that's a cop-out to say everything you do wrong in bullseye shooting. Anytime it's not a 10, you anticipate it." All right. Stance, position, grip, trigger control, aiming process, yeah. All that, you know, you can chalk up underneath the fundamentals or everything that you need to do. Because remember, there's only two fundamentals, aiming, trigger control. The rest of it is things that you just have to do. I mean, grip-wise, you want to hold the gun upside down, line the sights with your eye, and pull the trigger with your pinky. That's a good grip if you can shoot 10s. Did it on a TV show. Let's check it out. Anyhow, anticipation takes many, many forms, okay? And it's not just the one everybody thinks of is, as you know, as they're getting ready to shoot, you know, they look down range, you see your dot, or your sights are aligned in the center of your target, and you anticipate the recoil of the gun going like this, so we do this, you know, because we think the gun's going to move, okay? That's the response you get out in the general public, and everybody talks about it. You know, anticipation, you're anticipating the recoil of the gun. So you dip the gun because it's going to come up. Well, I think by now everybody knows how a gun works, and that slide doesn't start to move until the bullet has already left the barrel, at which point the pressure's dropped enough, allowing the slide to move to the rear, okay? So I'm pretty sure everybody gets it that we're not really trying to make the gun recoil back up into the aiming area, if you will, okay? That's not what's happening. Yes, we are anticipating the recoil, but it's not by moving the gun down. It's a last second that people tense up a little bit. Okay? And it's not just anticipating the recoil. It's also, they're anticipating a good shot. They see where the sights are aligned, and or they see the dot in the center, and everything's lined up where it's supposed to be. And now all of a sudden, if that finger moves, they want the shot to go now. They're jerking the trigger, but it's also a form of anticipation. To get it to shoot, they want it to go now, and what happens is we see this, boom. And we all know right-handed shooters, you know, if they're jerking the trigger, the shots are low and left. Well, jerking the trigger like that, if it's in the center, is a form of anticipation. You're anticipating that shot being centered, okay? Low and to the left is, you know, right-handed shooters, low and to the right, left-handed shooters. But there's so many other things that we can do to anticipate, all right? It's not just in our finger. It can be in our grip. That before the shot breaks, and we're not really jumping because it's going to, you know, the shot's going to break and oh, it's going to recoil, it's a big 45, it's going to go bang. That's probably not the case. A lot of times, as the sights are aligned and we start building pressure, and if you don't have pressure on the trigger, okay, and you squeeze, a lot of times we're squeezing with the whole hand. And that goes back to the trigger control. And again, these are short videos, but if, you know, come to one of the clinics and you'll see we talk about this a lot more in depth. But a lot of times people are squeezing the trigger. They're not just squeezing the trigger, they're squeezing the hand. And at the last second before that shot breaks, they're tightening up, they're tensing that grip. Why? They're anticipating the recoil of the gun. It takes all sorts of forms, okay? So to say, I can't say everything is anticipation, but there's a lot of things that can be related to anticipation. It's kind of like that whole, you know, 7 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon thing. I can trace everything back to, why did you do that? Well, I jerked the trigger. Why did you jerk the trigger? Because the shot was here. Why did you know, why did your finger react that way when you saw what you wanted to see? Because you were anticipating the gun going bang. Somehow it all does link back to anticipation. And everybody does it. Okay? I think that was the article I wrote, was anticipation. Everybody does it. I do it. If I didn't do it, I'd have shot a perfect 2700 by now, or at least a perfect 900, but I haven't. Okay? We can get more in depth in this. Come to one of the classes, like I said, because these are short videos. Thanks.